I don't think there's right or wrong place to start on what is an eulogy. A friend of mine, somebody that I met 14 years or so ago, David Brett Moon, La Luna, mi luna, your luna. The song you hear in the background, by the way, is by one of his, at least then, favorite artists. The version of Bread that I knew. One of the versions of Brett that I knew. Cash Cash, Take Me Home. Just this song brings so many wonderful, beautiful, crazy, fun, dancey, I smell the colors memories. There aren't enough words I can share, though a trillion thoughts have crossed my mind since I learned about the too soon sunset of my dear friend Brett. Morning of morning of April 1st, when it happened, just for remembrance. Just I learned about it 2 evenings ago. So April 2nd, sometime in the evening. Thank you, Zach Jackson, for reaching out to me about this momentous momentous incident in time and space. And thank you, David Cohn, through whom, through whom I met Brett, by the way, through whom I met Brett. I thank you both, and drinking some emergency stash special occasion. It's not gonna look. Let's see. Of course. Uh Coloma, Colombian rum, dark rum, which is something that, again, when I met Brett, and at some point in time, he would drink, and I still drink. So I drink in your honor. I drink in your honor, Brett Moon, a friend that I will forever miss, a friend that transparently and candidly I admit I had not talked to since January 2020. That was right before we were let know publicly of the COVID-19 pandemic. Yet, to reiterate, to reemphasize, carries about 14 years of history, about 14 years of friendship, 14 years of all kinds of memories, vastly wonderful, vastly um, gorgeous, marvelous, fabulous. I, after pausing and reflecting and meditating and just having random memories come to my mind, or perhaps not so random, about you, uh, about when we went camping, uh, for Tomorrow World, uh, 2014 on Chattahoochee Hills, Georgia, essentially Atlanta, Georgia. And you were a total diva, let's be honest. But you know what? I'm grateful that you allowed yourself to be pampered by this Colombian American friend of yours. It was a wonderful camping trip, if you will, but the most epic memories came from our time dancing the night away, having fun, meeting random people, setting everything aside at these festivals, for, no matter what you think of them. Nothing is more important than our humanity. Nothing is more important than you, Brett, than me, Andres, than you, random person, than you, other strangers or friends that also were there in the same space, open space, in nature, in a beautiful farm, with music that connects us all, that united us all, not by anything except our humanity. There was no politics, no race, no ethnicity, no accented English, no nationality, no melatonin, no skin color, just to emphasize that, no creed or lack of it thereof, no nothing. It was just us, you, Brett, and I, you, Brett, and a lot of people, and I, including some friends again, at this festival of music, celebrating what is best of us. As cliche as it sounds, peace, love, unity, respect is just incredible. All the times that we spent together, you and I, Brett. Right now, looking at these pictures. You probably can't see them because of the filter. There we go. On this slideshow I just created myself, I handpicked the pictures and I told Apple semi-intelligent AI to create an in memoriam. So I said, look through these pictures. As I look through the night of your birthday that I bought you by surprise a cake, red velvet cake. At that point in time, your favorite, perhaps still today, would have been uh, in the shape or inspired by a picture I think you show me, Brett, of your R's, in case the algorithm blocks this, ARSE, but your American funny, your culo, uh, for your birthday. That was one of my presents at what I think is now, or was then, whatever, a Hyatt hotel. Um, what a night. What an eventful night. It was your birthday. Everybody was having fun. You, Jared, love to you. So much love to you, Jared. I've had my fair share of deep, personal, direct losses, so I can at least adjacently feel what you feel, though not directly because I've never lost my life partner, the person I love, I'm in love with. And this is hard to hear. I know this is hard to watch. But Jared, side note here, obviously, this is about Brett. But you are loved. I want to remind you of that. And I'm sure you felt that these days from your family, from Brett's family, from Elise. His co-workers, from Zach, from Jordan, from David Cohn, from a bunch of people. And everybody's journey of grief is different, but if yours has any grains of sand that equate to mine, then those grains of sand would be that even if right now your mind is so overwhelmed with everything and everybody, and this just awful, dreadful situation, with this loss of life, right now and in the future, I will remind you to look back and check again and again who was there around you, who was your support group in any capacity, in any way. They're all important. Even if at the moment your mind just kind of blanked out and didn't quite process who reached out to you and who didn't. In my case, that happened. Again, I'm not saying it would happen in yours, but it did in mine. So perhaps that would be a parallel there. Anyhow, Jared, I love you. I'm here for you in any capacity, in any way. Uh, if you need anybody to do your laundry because you have no energy to get up from your bed and do so, I'll check in on you and you can always reach out to me. Okay? It's on the table. Now going back to Brett. My friend, I can't believe it. So difficult. It is. This darn Apple slide is too fast, but just looking at these pictures, Brett's birthday at the melting pot, somebody's birthday at Nano's Italian restaurant, Heights Armor Marquickie pool with you and Daniela and Jared and John Spicer and John and Josue and this Christmas Hanukkah holiday hybrid at Taylor Smith's house where we all wore ugly sweaters. My birthday celebrations, which are always later in January, not actually on my birthday. The trip I made with Brett to build more house. This is way before your time, Jared. This is way somebody's time in all the folks that he knew he touched. My trip with him to Chimney Rock, where I stay with him and him alone, uh, as friends at David Cohn's Try, North Carolina, and how he and I blasted with our windows down, I swear, on my mother's ashes. When we blasted with our windows down in our car, driving through some road, main road probably in Tryon, North Carolina, after or maybe before going to a Foot Lion. Foot. This boy is a bottom. Remember that song? Holy snap. What a throwback. So I think you see what I mean by all this beautiful, random, marvelous, fabulous, rainbow, fucking gay memories. Fucking human memories, more importantly. uh, oh gosh, the time you sent me a Snapchat that you were a unicorn filter. Uh, all the gatherings and soirees and parties and shenanigans we had in our apartment at Heights Armor 9302. Um, and then obviously became the apartment of so many people. It was basically a freaking hostel. Luxury hostel, mind you. You know, I did cook plenty of brunches for everybody, including Brett. Uh, um, after Brett, it was Chant. After Chant, it was this. And then one of my birthdays when John Spicer organized that at this Spanish place that used to have a wonderful view of Atlanta. Everybody was there. It was my birthday, but you, Brett, were there. You were wonderful. We had so much fun. Your smile, you dark, witty, sarcastic as hell, satirical humor. You love puns. Oh, punny puns. So, Mr. Moon, um, dinners with random friends, especially at what was that place called? Schnapp. Not Joe's and Juniper. That closed a while ago. The other one, the one that had a beautiful tree on one of the patios. Well, Joe's and Juniper had trees. Anyways, my cabin trip for my birthday when we went canoeing with David Cohn, and David Cohn was a princess, is essentially not really, but essentially just like doing his nails while you, Brett, and I were doing, the hard work of, you know, rowing and rowing, row your boat, or in this case, kayak. Uh, the cabin trip, that we all had fun, and you, Jared, you were being a princess, but I get it. Uh, uh, with our f common French friend, Victor Boisinot, who was at some point in time and space my roommate at the same Hightimer Marquis apartment that you, Brett, and I initially lived by and shared by. God, I randomly just remember you put a note on my car. It was a funny note. I gotta find it. It was something like, have a nice day, bitch. Um, and obviously I knew you were joking, and it was from a place of love and camaraderie and brotherhood, or gayhood. Um, what else? I will forever miss you, Brett, and so will my cat, Luna Europa Cepeda Sanchez. So her first name and middle name are moons. Luna implying our moon, Earth's moon, and Europa, that planet's moon. I don't want to get it wrong. I want to say Jupiter. Uh, um, oh my goodness, or the many gay prides that we went to. Uh, all the memories at our pool. Brett, remember? I think I want to say it was our first time at Heights Armor Pool. We met Aubrey and her girlfriend. Forgive me, I forget her name right now. And they gave us vodka soaked gummy bears. Ooh, and the rest is history. We met Les. May he continue to rest in peace. May we remember him too. There's two crucial people from our squad, from our group, from our friends that we have lost in less than a year. Let's be mindful of that. Uh, Pool times. I'm looking at when we're hanging out with Evan, John Spicer again with this one. Ah, gonna put this one, of course, in social media. That's the one that was like Christmas thing party. Ah, Lord, you left us too soon, but I genuinely believe, genuinely believe, not from necessarily a religious point of view, but more of a scientific point of view, which is one of the many, 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 many things you, Brett, and I shared. If my memory doesn't fail me, we're made out of mostly elements that came from the Big Bang, from the universe, from all that chaos, all that destruction, all that creation, stars being born, stars dying, i.e., going supernova or nova, nitrogen, oxygen, carbon, of course, sulfur, hydrogen, if I haven't said that already, magnesium. I mean, my point is the top five elements, discounting helium because that's an inert gas. Um, we are made out of stars. We are made out of such beautiful, universal, cosmic, interconnecting elements. So I'm smiling because even though you're physically gone, Brett dear, dearest Brett, I have learned through a lot of pain and a lot of life lessons and a lot of joy that even when we're not physically present anymore, for whatever reason, we are most definitely interconnected through the gorgeous and terrifying universe. But let's focus on the gorgeous, shall we? Yet another random memory. Snowgeddon, roughly 12 years ago. You get stuck, like most of Atlanta Metro. Somewhere, I want to say you abandon your Hyundai Veloster. I'm good remembering cars. Hyundai Veloster by the Sandy Springs, North Springs, MARTA station. Get on the apparently the last train. You reach Limburg. You walk in those terrible, inclement weather conditions from Limburg to Heights Armor to accept my shelter, to accept the shelter you requested of what it was my home and whoever was living with me at the time. Uh, and you, that, just to be abundantly clear, had already moved out as my roommate, but obviously still a very good close friend. Our internet didn't go down, which was quite interesting and perhaps a miracle of science. Um, we went on a beautiful walk to Joe's. We appreciated nature, the stillness of it. We paused, we took pictures, funny ones, beautiful ones, icicle ones of, let's say, a doodle. Whoop! A phallic doodle because, you can embrace your inner child. We gotta laugh more often because it's part of the cure of anything and everything. The times we watch 3D movies on my back in the day, top of the line TV, that Avatar in 3D. Remember that, Brett? Oh, holy smokes, that was insane. The little wiggy, 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 the spirits of what was that? Anyways, I've gone long enough on this. And like I said at some point in this video, I'm celebrating your life, Brett, with some dark Colombian made rum aged on American oak. So from this Colombian American to your white ass to your beautiful Bama years and your fast and furious life and your full life, though most certainly cut short. Please, please, you are not the first queen that was supposed to go. You were not the first supposed king that was supposed to go among us. But I love you. I always have. I will forever will. And one of my main hopes is that you had the coveted fast sunset, easy sunset that Drake, yes, Drake, said in one of his songs. He said it a little bit more candidly. He said, I want a fast death and an easy one, which again, from what I know so far, is what we all desire and only a select few get. So, this extremely nostalgic, this extremely sad and beautiful spring night of April 4th, Saturday, planet Earth, Pachamama. I, Andrés José Cepeda Sánchez, de la Santísima Trinidad Bolívar, bid adieu to you, Brett Moon. And as a long closing statement, as a dog I live with named Mango barks in the background, probably you hear that, I say that there's a teaching. I say to you, Jared, and I said to me, and I said to all of us, it's a reminder, a hard reminder, but a reminder that there's a teaching in Stoic philosophy, Memento Mori. Memento Mori. Teaching from ancient Stoic philosophy. The reminder that we are all mortal. People often hear that phrase and think it's dark or morbid, but its purpose is the opposite. It asks us to remember that life is fragile so that we live more fully, more gratefully, more awake. Even the great thinkers who wrote about it admitted how unsettling it is. They said it can make your stomach turn. Make it forces, sorry, because it forces you to confront what the mind naturally tries to avoid. But they also said that this discomfort is what makes the reminder powerful, powerful, powerful. It pulls us out of distraction. It makes us put our phones down, our tablets down, our computers down. It makes us notice the people in front of us, not just virtually, but in person. It makes us choose presence over autopilot. And yes, the irony isn't lost on me that I'm sharing this on social media, where many of us are literally holding a phone to read or watch these words. But the emotional clarity and the intellectual honesty behind the message don't change, doesn't change because of the medium. If anything, this is one of the rare moments when social media can serve a genuine human purpose. When a message about presence reaches people at the very moment they're least present. Marcus Aurelius wrote something that has stayed with me for years. He said that when you look at someone you love, your child, your partner, your friend, your what have you should quietly remember that you're not promised another morning with them. Not to create fear, not to create fear, let me repeat that, but to deepen gratitude. Gratitude. To remind us that every moment shared is a gift that will not repeat. Something I am a work in progress. I've been a work in progress. I've gotten drastically better. And that you are capable of doing the same, if not done already. Losing breath has made that teaching real in a way I never wanted it to be. There's no desensitizing yourself to the thought of losing someone so precious. It is humbling, it is sobering, it is terrifying. And yet, in the middle of that pain, it reveals the truth the Stoics were pointing to, that love is more meaningful because of its finite, because it is finite, rather, because we don't get infinite chances to say what someone meant to us. Thankfully, gratefully, I said that to you, Brett. I said that to him. Perhaps not lately, but I did many occasions. So that brings some peace of mind. Brett's passing forces us into that clarity. It reminds us painfully and unmistakably that life is not guaranteed and that people we love are the most important part of it. Remembering this doesn't take away the grief, but it honors him. It turns our sorrow into a commitment to live the way he deserved to be lived for, with intention, with presence, with gratitude for every moment we still have. So, folks of the internet, Jared, Jared's family, Brett Moon's family, David Cohn, and everybody else in between. There's just too many to mention. I've missed you, I've loved you, and if I've hurt you, let's make amends. If you hurt me, you make amends. Let's heal individually and together. Let's carry on with our lives and let's carry on honoring Brett in every single way. That means to you specifically and others, not or, and others. Today, and forever, perpetually. And Brett, when I watch the Artemis 2 launch live the evening of April 1st, hours after you passing, shortly after I learned about it, all I could think of were two things: you and how much you would have loved witnessing this, even on a two-dimensional screen, ideally in person, right? And two, how ephemeral, how trivial most things in life are, and what truly matters, what ultimately matters, is just one thing: our connection as humans, our undeniable common denominator. Undeniable common denominator. Humans. So you will forever have a piece of my heart, my mind, and my spirit. Love y'all. Thank you. Until next time.